before I came to Broward Housing Solutions, I was in a shelter, going through the process of case management. I was going through, trying to avoid going back to the streets. So um, this opportunity came out of nowhere. It was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. And they told me, you got to go. And I was so happy to go because in the shelter, there's so many people. And sometimes it gets to be too frustrating, too loud. And it's nothing like having your own home. Without Broward Housing Solutions, where I would be is probably right now in the street, some street corner somewhere, um, hustling, trying to get work for the day, just doing anything I can just to survive that day, and without even worrying about what's happening on the news. I wouldn't even care who the president was. All I cared about was how was I going to make it that day. And the worst part for me was with the water, because I was always out there and sweating, and I always had to find a place to get water and to keep going, to keep hydrated, and keep walking. I walked a lot, and I honestly, right now, I don't know where I would be, because I know I'd be out there, but there were also thoughts of suicide, and that was always running through my mind, and I don't know if I would have made it this long had I still been out there. My advice is to not give up. I know it seems like nothing's gonna get better, but sometimes just hanging on that extra day, a miracle can happen, and that's what happened with me. A miracle happened that got me to where I am today. Being a veteran, being out there, a lot of people don't understand. They're like, oh, but you're a veteran. They take care of veterans. It's not like that. You go down to the VA, and sometimes they don't even see you. You try to get help, and there's no one there to help you, because they got such a caseload of so many people, and you're just another one out there in line. So you start to give up. You start to think that the world is against you. There's nobody there for you to help you. It's a waste of time, and that's when you start having those thoughts of suicide, because you feel like there's just no help for you. And had I acted on those thoughts, which I did a few times, but luckily I had people there to help me. Uh, Other people that were homeless with me stopped me. But had they not been there, I probably wouldn't be here right now. Uh, you need people around you that can help you. You need to keep asking for help. Never stop asking for help, because at some point you are going to get that help. But if you stop and give up, then it's just not going to happen. And that's my advice to you guys. What my goals and what I'm doing now are, um, my first goal is to remain stable, remain out of the hospital, re, follow the rules and the guidelines set to me by Broward Housing, so that I can maintain my home and not have to worry about going back to the streets. Um, and when it comes to the music, the music is what I did when I was homeless. I was out there. I was in a band. I was a backup vocalist for the band. We did a lot of original music, karaoke music, just covers, all kinds of stuff. We played in different places like Mikosuki Casino down there, and we played down in Chrome Avenue, all the different bars and the Mexican bars. And, it was you play here, and then you get ready, you go to the next spot, and we were doing okay for a little while. It was helping me get through um, the bad moments, because music for me is like my therapy. It's what helps me. But what I realized was that I was getting nowhere, because all I was doing was just pretending like everything was okay, but in reality things were not okay. I didn't know I had such bad mental illness going on, and that's why I couldn't get any stable work. Every time I got a job, it would fall apart after just a few days, and I didn't understand why it was happening. I hadn't seen a doctor. I didn't know what was going on. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. And I would have relationships, and the girl would tell me, you can't live here anymore after a while, and put me right back on the street. And I'm like, man, what is going on? And that's when my first time I got Baker acted was here in Broward, and that's when I found out just how bad what really was going on. That I had mental illness. And I'm like, wow, is that some kind of disease or something? Am I gonna die from this? And they laughed. They said, no, no, no. It's we can show you how to live with it, and we can put you on medication and get you help. And that's how everything started. So my goal is to keep that up and not go back, because I know if I stop taking the medication, if I stop doing the things that I need to do, I can easily end up right back there where I was. And I don't want to. My goal is to not end up back there. Um, and what I would like to do now that I'm stable and I know what's going on with me, I like to, some people see me as a role model. I've been to other programs, where date programs and things, and they look up to me. Some of the guys there, because they see that I'm keeping it up. I'm not going backwards. I'm trying to go forwards. It's tough. The medication is tough on me sometimes, and there are days that it's very difficult for me to function, but I do the best I can on a daily basis just to get through the day. I don't worry about tomorrow. I just get through that day, and that's it. Um, Another thing I like to do is at some point is maybe go back to Miami, and get back with the fellas that I used to hang out with down there, that were part of the band, and see how they're doing. I haven't heard from them in a long time, and I'm sure they're still out there singing and doing what they do, and I love to see them again. Um, and basically, that's that's really all I can hope for right now. Uh, I don't know what else I can do to better myself. I'm with American Legion. Um, they accept war veterans, and they took me in, and I go there. There's activities. They have karaoke. They have poker. They do a lot of things, and it's all a bunch of war veterans telling war stories, and I think it's great. I think it's hilarious sometimes, but it's what we need to do sometimes, to just be around other people that understand your situation. That's what most people need to help them get through the day. So my goal is to just to keep it up, you know. Well, this place, home for the brave, has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. When I grew up as a kid, my mom took. I was born in New York. She took me to the Dominican Republic. I was raised there until maybe 9 years old or so. So when I came back to America, a lot of the kids would make fun of me because I had the Spanglish going on. So I knew both, but I was mixing them. And I had a tough childhood. I didn't get to do a lot of things that I should have done. I was really good in sports. I was really good in music. I was in a gifted program because of the talent that I had. And because of my stepfather, a lot of that fell apart. Um, so if anybody has that kind of issue going on that goes back to when they were kids, and they feel like, everything was taken away from them. I had everything taken away from me, but I am learning that I can have a little piece of it back, not all of it, but a little piece of it, and I find comfort in just having a little bit of it. I know I can't do the sports anymore, and I can't do all these things, but the talent is still there. It doesn't go away. It's still there. It may be dormant, and it may be getting harder with age, but it's still there. And if I can mentor other people or whatever, and give them hope, then I'm fine with that.